Hi, community. My name is Tatiana Yaskovskaya, and I'm welcoming you in Inside Zephyr, the community event where we're talking about Zephyr tools and meet with the SmartBear team. And today we have a special guest from the customer care team, and we will learn more about this team and how you can work with them when you want to resolve some technical issue or want to identify how to resolve this or that task. So please welcome Michael Punsky, product lead of Zephyr Enterprise from the customer care team. So hi, Mike, how are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you, Tatiana.
Thanks for joining us today, and thanks for your willingness to talk with the Zephyr Enterprise community. Let's start with a short introduction because that's very important for the community to learn who the member is. Could you please share your background and how did you start your career?
Okay, great. So I was born and raised in Portland, Maine, in the United States. And believe it or not, I didn't start out in computers or software. I started out going to college for pharmacology. Then I went into the Air Force in telecommunications. I had wanted to go in for programming, but there was nothing available at the time. So I went into telecommunications and later that merged. So I ended up with programming and computer systems, even though that's not what I signed up for when I went in. And then I stayed in the Air Force for 12 years and I was stationed all over the world. Got out, and while I was in, I had worked on various computer systems and stayed in as a contractor once I got out, working on those same systems. Then I moved into networking and started working with Cold Fusion, and then professional services. And after that, I went to SmartBear and I was doing performance testing and services for customers. And then I left. I went and formed my own company doing performance testing, and then came back to SmartBear to work with Zephyr about a year ago. So quite a long and convoluted story, but hope that says a little bit about my background.
Sure. But you returned for SmartBear because of Zephyr, I suppose.
Yes.
Definitely. And what specifically, personally, what at the moment you are doing for SmartBear regarding the Zephyr Enterprise?
Okay, that's a little bit of an interesting story as well, because I came back into the customer support team, and there was a need for a technical account manager position. And so I filled that. So as a technical account manager, I'm a single point of contact for a customer, and I interface with all of the various teams and functions within SmartBear. So if that Zephyr customer needs to talk to somebody in sales or needs to discuss an enhancement or a bug or anything that they need to discuss, they come to me and I do all the coordination for them, connect them up with the right people, and make it happen. Also, I'm the customer's advocate. So you're not going to find anybody else anywhere that is more interested in the customer getting what they need and making sure that happens for them.
Okay, great. I'm sure that you like what you're doing. And specifically about, so you described many duties and maybe many things that you are doing on your daily basis, but do you have anything specific that you like doing the most during your day-to-day work?
I think the thing that I find most rewarding is solving customer issues. So it's a very broad definition of issue when you're talking about a TAM role, because it covers so much ground. It could be a support problem. It could be a licensing problem. It could be something to do with their network doing the wrong thing in regards to our software. But all of those things together make for a very interesting job where you get to track down, in a lot of cases, you're the detective, or you manage the investigation to find out exactly what the problem is, get a resolution in place, and then have the customer be extremely happy. So that's that I think is the most rewarding thing that I do.
Okay, and that's a great one. Helping others is something that I hear more often from even our community leaders when I ask them why they are participate very often in the SmartBear community. And if you like to resolve the issues of our customers, I'm sure that you have some issues that you like to resolve. I mean, so maybe you prefer or you feel like you would like to resolve these issues and not another issues. Do you
Yeah,
have such things?
well, yeah, I think all issues have something interesting about them. The thing that I have found to be the most interesting and sometimes challenging is migration issues. So for Zephyr Enterprise, a lot of our customers, I would say all of our customers, are coming from another test management tool and they're changing over to use our tool. In those cases, they need to bring their data with them.
Mm-hmm.
We have customers that have created tens, well, actually millions of test cases over a certain number of years. And they have all of this, their engineers, developers, QA people are all using these test cases all the time, and they want to bring that with them. And then there are always challenges. So their software, whether it's one of the big names or one of the small names, may have changed over time. Different revisions handle things a slightly different way. So we have to work with all versions of a competitor's software. We have to work with all customizations that customers have made to that software. And then there are also architectural decisions that a customer makes sometimes that make it even more challenging. I mean, we could have a customer that keeps everything in one big project. And then we have other customers that would have 500 or 600 projects that they're keeping things in. So it's different ways of thinking, different ways of doing things, and we have to support all of them. And I find that to be very rewarding when we can get those things migrated and the customer says, that went great, thank you.
So that's very interesting. I have never realized that you need to know not only our SmartBear tools, but only tools our competitors' tools, right? In order to better understand like how to help our customers to move from one tool to our tools.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Okay, thanks for sharing. And so as you know many tools inside this area, inside this market, you can tell me why do you think Zephyr Enterprise is the best tool?
I think Zephyr Enterprise is the best tool because we listen to our customers. So personally, I'm on calls with customers every day. There are some customers that we have calls with every day. There are some customers that we have calls with once a week. There are customers that we have calls with less often than that, that only call when they have an issue or they have something they want to discuss moving forward. But we listen to our customers. We have a direct line into product management. And when they need to have a certain feature and that feature makes sense for our customers, that feature gets put in. And we listen enough that our tool is completely, I would say, looks and feels different year over year.
Sure.
Because we're adding in all of those features and ways of doing things that our customers are asking for. And so it's evolving constantly.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I like that you're working so close with all the lines which are worked on development of developing these great tools for enterprise. And so let's start. Let's talk a bit about the customer care processes, right? I've heard that you have some service level agreements, some coverage specifics. Can you share some story around how your working process looks like?
So mine's a little bit different than other people in customer care.
Okay.
The customer care engineers have a very different process for working with customers because it's based on when the customer has an issue, customer opens a case, there are
Mm-hmm.
SLAs, and those cases get worked. I have done some of that to some extent, but for the most part, my process is a little bit different, and I can give you an overview of that right now.
Sure. Sure.
Um, with me, I go in and I have an initial discovery call with the customer. I want to learn everything I can about them, what they want to do with Zephyr Enterprise, what they've been doing in the past, what they like about that, what they want to change about that, and what they're hoping, what problems they're hoping that we can solve for them. Then I want to ask about the data that they will be migrating from another test management tool to Zephyr Enterprise. And so I want to learn what version of that software were they using? What modifications have they made? How much data is there? Have they been doing this for 10 years or is it 1 year? Do they want to migrate everything they ever did? We have customers that do want that because they have regulations that state they have to. But others say, no, if it's older than 6 months, leave it. So we have to find that out. Then we put together a timeline. We arrange various trainings for the customer. So it's, in a lot of ways, it's a hand-holding process where we know what they should have, what they should do at each step along the way. And once we've set up that timeline, we can plug in those things and make it happen. And then we set up calls. So I have, like I said, I have some customers that I have daily calls with. I have some customers that
Uh-huh.
have weekly calls. And there are some that I haven't talked to in 3 weeks. And I'll only talk to them when they call up because they need something or want something from me. But other than that, they're too busy to deal with the day-to-day things.
Okay, great. So this is like, you are starting and you are working from deep investigation or of what this specific customer is wants and what this specific customer is doing. And after that came to the suggestions of how to implement this by using Zephyr Enterprise.
Right. And one other thing to state is that on these calls, these weekly calls that we have with customers, or even daily in some cases, we will go over their open support cases. We will go over any bugs that they've submitted. We will go over any enhancement requests that they have submitted to product management, let them know any updates, any questions, if there's something that needs to be moved along or something that we need to get the customer to raise their attention to. We can discuss that in those calls. So it's a very, very interactive process.
Uh, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. That was very useful and helpful to learn what you are doing and what customer care does for SmartBear and for our lovely customers. And again, thanks for this interview and see you in the Zephyr Enterprise community.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I touch on it.